Well, the calm, mellow vibe on the land by no means tells the story of destruction we've seen out here at Haleiwa. Some incredible power surfing going on. The Hawaiian Pro rolls on. Charles Martin, Hiroto Arai, Duel Philippe, and Benji Brand hitting the lineup. 25-minute heats. Chris Cote here with Pete Mel. Oh, brutal display of power surfing in that last heat. And I think we're going to see more of that from our surfers in the lineup with Charlie Martin starting us off.
Well, then the big float somehow maintains control, then the little head dip, and then behind him, Benji Brand, who has got the Hawaii next to his name, but grew up surfing in South Africa, now resides here in Hawaii, and his membership is from Hawaii, so he's got himself a start in the Triple Crown. And good stuff, you know, he surfs all sorts with the Moniz clan, good friends with all of that entire family, being around there a lot himself. But loving the Hawaiian Islands, enough so that he's now a resident. And then behind him, Hiroto Arai, Japanese surfer. You know, one of our first Japanese contenders in this event so far. I mean, we'll see Hiroto Ohara compete as well, who has arrived a couple days before the waiting period. And since then, it's been fairly small. There were some waves right in the very beginning after the H15 Pro, but after that, it's been pretty quiet.
Our first look at Duel Philippe from Brazil. Up, over, out, done. 19 minutes, 15 seconds ago. Charlie Martin's first wave comes through to 4.83. Benji Brand at 2.5. Yeah, he's sitting right there at 21.
Yeah, ooh, okay, yeah. So it's right on that cut line. I gave him a little extra couple points, but I mean, if you look at that gap, I think he sits with a couple 3,000 points or something, 2,000 points ahead of his nearest competitor who is chasing him down. You know, he sits at 44 on the championship tour, so you would say that he's got a pretty good result in 5,200. And you know, he's dropping meager scores here, 600 in both his two drop-away scores, so he could conceivably, you know, put a couple big results as we have surfers up and running.
Benji Brand starts off with one big turn, two smaller turns, but riding this wave all the way through to this inside section, getting every last ounce of scoring potential out of that wave. His first wave was a 2.5, and I like this opening turn, Pete.
Well, and if you remember Benji Brand, as we watch this replay here on his backhand, you know, again, he's accomplished both forehand and backhand, but you remember he got one of the longest GoPro barrels ever in his home country of Africa.
Intention of catching a wave. You can just,
you can hide pretty easily.
But if you're in a four surfer heat,
yeah,
you better go.
That spotlight
your
is on
pipeline card will be revoked quickly. 13 minutes, 22 seconds ago, Benji Brand takes off in a little insider here, trying to throw away a 2.5. He does have the lead, so a much different story in this heat. We're looking at the first place surfer with an 8.5. He would need to double that and some to even come close to where Federico Moraes was in that last heat. So,
well, I mean, that's the swell, right? I mean, we've been kind of seeing it where one heat's on, one heat's off. We even actually asked one of the competitors, like Husinelma Patero, you know, he had watched a heat that was really slow, so he knew in his heat that maybe, oh, it might click in. And that we just saw that before, where that last heat was pumping. There was tons of waves in that heat.
Through a situation, if you would.
Well, if anything happens, we have a rescue ski out there. They got an operator and a grabber on it that will zoom in there and end up grabbing the victim and try to bring them in as fast as they can. Obviously, you need two people to operate this type of rescue. One's the operator, one's the grabber, and the grabber can just jump off and swim around and end up bringing the victim in.
Terry Ahui, it was just not many years ago before we had skis, and guys like you saving lives on behalf of all the surfers around the world. You're legendary, as well as all your staff. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Aloha.
Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, I mean, it is a real, safety net in the most literal sense to have these guys out in the channel. They are watching like hawks, and even on a day like today, it's shallow, there's reef, there's current, there's a lot that can actually go wrong. And when we see these guys coming down from big floaters, doing critical maneuvers, I mean, that's where the knee injuries, the different kind of scary injuries happen. So have those guys in the lineup. Every surfer in any one of these events will tell you.
And started by Danila Cotto, Cole Christensen, Liam Wilmot, that whole group is actually having a seminar up at Turtle Bay this year. They do it for everybody so that they can learn how to have, you know, as a surfer, know how to take care of yourself when you come in and have somebody come in to save you.
Thank goodness for our water safety crew. Benji Brand, one good turn. No wave just ran away from him right there. So as it stands now, 7.5 to go. Charles Martin, surfer from Guadalupe, got a 4.87 and a 4.83. His total now at 9.7. Benji Brand is in the lead now. His second scoring wave comes through to 4.23.
This is the beginning of the heat, the 4.83. Big float to a little head tuck into the barrel. The toilet bowl pulls out. He took the early lead. Then Benji Brand was able to find this nice solid one. Look at this first turn, hooking snap, throwing water everywhere. The rookie of the Triple Crown. So if he were to make it through a few more heats here, he could find his way as being the Triple Crown Rookie of the Year, which is always an honor, similar to the Rookie of the Year from the World Title, so or the World Championship Tour. As you see now, this is the second ride here of Charlie Martin, has him in second position, a 4.87. And then the best wave from Hiroto Orai, 6.5. Now has to get rid of that 2.0 as we are just under the 5-minute mark. He's in third position, doesn't need much to overtake Charlie Martin.
Well, we're now under the 5-minute mark. See the live action as 4 surfers paddling into position. It's going to be Luel Philippe with priority. See what he can do straight off the top. Nice opening turn where Philippe blasts the fins out, hangs on. 2 solid turns. Needs a 7.43 to get back into it. Right behind him, Charles Martin. Nice little opening snap. Tries to get around this section. You see the wind has switched directions now, going side shore. Just when you think you know what's going on in the lineup, it all changes. This Triple Crown of Surfing starts right here with the Hawaiian Pro. A win here puts you in the driver's seat to one of the most prestigious trophies in all of surfing. Here goes Hiroto Arai. Smooth surfer out of Japan. He's got a 6.5. Trying to back up that score. Nicely ridden wave here. Talk about reaction time. This guy has wasted no space on this wave. Slicing this thing from outside to in. He likes it. Finger snap. That's kind of that go-to claim for when you are probably claiming a mid-range score, which he did right there. But hey, it works. The judges see that and go, all right, well, maybe that was a 6 instead of a 5.
It doesn't play.
Small mounds of water coming through the lineup here at Haleiwa.
Here's Benji with priority, having to make a decision. This is where it comes down to it, and he's looking at, there's a couple waves in this set. He's going to make the move. Hiroto's going to try to distract the judges by taking an inside wave.
Yeah, Hiroto just got a 5.20, so
he goes to the lead.
Definitely jumps into the lead, so the claim worthy. There he goes to the air, comes down. This thing is now flipped on its head with Benji Brand in third place, leading a 5.15. I wonder if he knew what he needed when he stood up. And he puts everything into his last turn, so Benji Brand now has to watch Luel Philippe, who only needs a 3.97. So these aren't huge scores being dropped, but they are definitely scores of note when you think of how tight this heat was going into this last minute. Again, a different kind of nail-biting finish, right? Nobody really broke the plane of perfection on those last 4 waves, but they all counted.
Wow, look at it, 11.7 two-wave total for the first place position right now, which is Hiroto. And I don't think he bettered his situation. Then you go down all the way to 4th place, and Luel, who's sitting with a 3.97 needed in order to turn the heat. He's actually got the best wave of the heat with a 7.17, except for that last wave. Yeah, talk about nails.
Get out your calculators, people, because this is going to be tight.
Well,